Welcome to GDevelop 5 game development stream. I'm going to continue working on my game. So let's do it. I will open the project now. So here it is. And last time you were able to make the character jump and make her fire projectiles. And today what I want to do is I want to animate the character when she is firing the projectiles. So let's do that. Projectile is fired when right mouse button is released. And in addition to these two actions, I will add another action, and this will be animation. And I will play the animation once. Ninja Girl, but it didn't ask me which animation. Ninja Girl animation name was Pro. And I will click on OK. And now when I will uh, press right mouse button, he will throw the projectile and also be animated, and so show the animation. So let's see. But as you can see that she is just jerking off and it's not really playing properly. So what I will do is uh, I will do one thing. When Ninja Girl is on floor and left mouse button was released, not released, because this is a not, a touch has ended and a touch has not ended, because these two are being negated. This symbol means that this condition is being negated. So I want to add another negation condition here, which says that right mouse button was not released. So I will have to search for mouse and touch, um, mouse button released, and right and invert. This way I have negated the condition. Right mouse button was not released. And when right mouse button will be released, then the animation that will be played will be that of throwing. I will now check it. It still doesn't quite show me the animation. When I am jumping, then I am able to play the animation, but not when I am on the ground. So what I should do is uh, I should remove this condition that Ninja Girl is on floor. And what I will do is when none of the buttons have been released, Ninja Girl will be set to idle. That's kind of let's try that. Let's try doing that. Let's see. It's not working well. I'll put it again. So what I should do is I think when this animation gets completed, this throw animation, then I should set animation of Ninja Girl to idle. I think that I can do that. I can do that. And throw animation is not running. Can I do a condition like that? Current animation is not equal to throw. But hey, enter a number. So throw throw animation, current animation name, yeah, that's better, is not equal to, wait, row invert. What we have done is Ninja's girl is on floor, none of the buttons have been released, and the animation throw is not running. Then it will set the animation to idle. But if the animation throw is running, then it will not set it to idle. Let's see. And okay, yeah, so it's working, but then it's taking the animation right to the throw animation, and it's not going back. So I can do this thing. Ninja girl is on floor, and the throw animation is complete. Then I will set animation to idle. So I will not do that. Platform behavior is on floor, and who is on floor? Ninja girl is on floor, and the animation throw is complete. Animation finished. Ninja girl, check if the animation being played by the sprite object is finished. Yeah, okay. And then set animation of Ninja girl to idle. I will just paste. Kind of, it looks like it's very hackish. You can see that now it's working. It's working well. So I think I can remove some of the conditions to just to make the code a little better, but I will not touch it right now because it's working. We will do that. Let's do it. Animation of Ninja Girl is throw. I think all the conditions are necessary here, and if I remove any one of them, it's not going to work. So I will not be removing them. One more thing we want to do is that if a right mouse button was released and Ninja Girl is not on floor, is jumping, then we must play another animation. So let's do that. Right mouse button was released, and I will just copy this whole thing. Can I copy this whole thing? No, I will just add an event. So right mouse button was released. Right button was released, and the character was jumping and falling. In both cases, we want to play the jumping throw animation. So I will say on floor, but then I will say not on floor. Invert the condition. I want to check that the character is not on floor. So right mouse button was released and Ninja Girl is not on floor. So now what should we do? We should do these same things. Create an object called bullet, or should I do something different? Because if I do it inside this only, then it will create two bullets while jumping, which is not what we want. But something got deleted. Let me undo it. Oh yeah. Okay, how do I remove the event? this there is no facility to remove it. Delete delete I can't remove the event if I want to. Okay, I can't remove the event. Looks like. Okay, that's okay. So I will put some sub conditions here. I think I can put some sub conditions. I wonder. Add a new empty event within this event. No, oh, can't I undo it? I can. I think I could double click on a condition or action to edit it. Okay. I think I had the ability to create sub events. Right mouse button was released and Ninja Girl is on floor. Then this will run. If right mouse button was released and Ninja Girl is not on floor, then I will run something else. I want to run the jumping throw animation. So I will add another condition, but I think I could add nested condition. I don't see that option right now. So if I see it in the future, I will tell you. Right mouse button was released and Ninja Girl is on floor. This one. And now right mouse button was released and Ninja Girl is not on floor, which means Ninja Girl is in air. And if she is in air, she should play the jump throw animation. So there it is. Uh, yeah, look good. Now I will just do this again. Copy and paste and set animation of Ninja Girl to jump throw. Change the animation of Ninja Girl to jump throw. Right? Okay. Let's test this out. So this one is running. Either I should increase the speed of animation or I should add a timer which says that I can I cannot fire the bullet so quickly, like spam the bullets. So we have to add that kind of limit, because otherwise the player will just keep spamming the bullets, and the bullets will be fired as fast as the player can hit the button or as fast as the computer can register the button release. We don't want that to happen. What I will do now is I will make a global variable. So it's kind of amazing that so far we did not make even a single variable, because most of the functionality was being taken care of by the engine itself, right? So but now we want to add a variable. So go to this project manager. I think you can add, yeah, global variables under game settings. I will add one global variable. I will call it bullet firing speed, or should I say bullet firing time interval. And it should be right now. I think it's should be 1 second. What is this? Oh, I can copy it, delete it. What is this? Add child variable. Apply. Now I have this bullet firing time interval 1. Okay, cool. I have this one global variable. Now what I will do is, when I fire the bullet, I will change the value of this variable, global variable, value of a global variable. I will change it to, yeah, choose operator, set. uh, I will set the value to 0. I think I should change the name. Bullet firing, can fire bullet. I will change the name because time interval is kind of misleading. Can fire bullet. By default it's 1. And I will now change it here. Can fire bullet will be set to 0. So when she has fired a bullet, she can't fire another bullet. And that checking we will do here. That if value of a variable can fire bullet, choose an operator equal to 1. If it is 1, then you can fire bullet. If it is 0, you can't fire bullet. Same thing here. Value of a global variable can fire bullet equal to 0. And then wait, yeah, check the value. Can fire bullet equal to 1. So now if I play the game, I will only be able to fire my bullet once. Let's do that. That's it. I can jump, but I can't fire the bullet again. Jump, fire, but now I can't fire. So I can only fire my bullet once. But what I want to do is add some cooldown. So now I have achieved this, that you can't spam the bullets. Now I want some cooldown. So I will add a variable called bullet firing cooldown. Bullet firing cooldown. And cooldown should be again 1 second. I think 1 second is enough. But I will just check how long it takes for the throw animation to happen. So this is the throw animation. I will preview it. It doesn't say how long it takes, but I can just you know, this is the FPS 0.08 frames per second. No, it is 0.08 seconds it will spend on one frame. So how many frames are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 frames. We have 10 frames and we are spending 0.08 seconds on each frame. So now I am just firing up my trusty calculator on my phone. As you can see this, can you see that? You can't see that. So I will just 0.08 into 10. So I got 0.8 seconds. We are spending 0.8 seconds on in the throw animation. And it's the same for jump throw, because jump throw also has 10 frames and it has a time of 0.08 per frame. I mean, it's spending 0.08 seconds per frame. So 0.8 seconds. So 1 second is good enough. I will increase 1 second cooldown is good enough, because in that time the animation will be able to play fully. But I will make it 1.5 seconds, because player will, I'll make it 2 seconds, because as the game progresses player will be able to get power-ups which will help them decrease this cooldown. Because if the cooldown is very less in the right in the beginning, then it's kind of and the challenge gets reduced from the game. I think we will see how long it should be. But right now we need to start a timer whenever we fire a bullet. So I will now start one. Where is the timer system? There was a time system. I can't find it. Uh, Function. No. Timers. Start a scene timer. I think I should first create a timer, but how do I do that? Scene timers. I do not know how to create a timer. Will will this help me? Edit scene variables. Let's see if I no, it's not there. Uh, okay. I guess I have to create a timer from there only. Global variable. There's just variables. So I think I will just create the timer. Timer start or reset it. I will call it bullet firing timer. Bullet firing timer. So the timer has been started, and here also I will start bullet firing timer. The same one. Bullet firing. Now the timer has started. So another condition we will add, another event, and that will be I will check how long the timer has been running. Value of a scene timer. Now this time I want it to be a global variable, which is my cooldown. So variables, value of a global variable, bullet firing cooldown, and timer name bullet firing timer. That's what it is. So what has happened is, if the timer bullet firing timer is greater than my cooldown, it is 2 seconds. If the time if 2 seconds have passed since the timer has started, then we will change the value of can fire bullet to 1 again, and that way we will be able to fire bullet every 2 seconds. I think 2 seconds is a lot of time, so I will change it to 1.5, but let's see if it works. Can fire bullet equal to 1. Now you can fire bullet. I think it should work, but let's see. Yes, it's working. We are able to fire bullets every 2 seconds. But 2 seconds is a lot of time. What I will do is now that first thing I want to make the animation faster, and I want to see how what is the comfortable pace of firing bullets. My cooldown should be 1 second, and I will now see if it is comfortable. It should be comfortable for the player, right? It should not be punishing. The player should have fun while firing bullets. That's good. One size is good enough, I believe. But let me now make the animation throw run faster. I will make the animation faster like this. I decrease the time which the game spends on one frame, on each frame of throw animation. So I decrease the time. It was 0.08 earlier, now it's 0.05. So the time which the game spends on each frame of the throw animation has been reduced. So the animation will become faster. Let's preview it. I am pressing Ctrl and mouse wheel to zoom, so you can do that from here. I will preview it. So it's fast, right? And it's the same thing we should do with the jump throw. And now I will just preview it. So it's faster. Can I make it even better? Oops, sorry. 4. I'm just experimenting with it. Looking a lot smoother than before. If I do it 0.033, then my FPS is 30, which is much better. So I will change that to 0.033, because then my FPS will be 30, which will look good. And should I do it for everything? Let's see what happens. I will change the FPS of every animation to 0.033. Looking good. I mean, it looked good. Let's see if it is comfortable for the player. It looks okay. She looks like she's panting and really struggling for breath. But we will keep it like this for now, and we will change the cooldown to even less. I believe it should be 0.8 or something. Because 1 second is a lot. I mean, it's kind of late. So something was happening here when she is in air and she has fired a bullet, and if she again fires a bullet while in air, she was not able to. She was able to fire, but the animation didn't play. So how to fix that? Uh, Set animation of Ninja Girl to jump throw, and Ninja Girl is not on floor, so it should play. But at the same time, what's happening is that Ninja Girl is jumping, so the animation is being set to jump. I think the engine cannot decide what to do. I will make the work easier for the engine. I will tell it then that if the Ninja Girl is jumping and right mouse button was not released or the animation has finished, left mouse button was released, so jumping animation started. But at the same time, if the animation jump throw has started, then you should not play the animation jump. You should wait for jump throw to end, right? I believe that should be the case. Or yeah, I think I should add that, right? Uh, animation finished. Ninja Girl. Oh no, not like this. Current animation is not. Or maybe I will just invert the condition. Jump. Oh, what's wrong with it? Oh, a number was expected. I will do it by name. Invert condition. Jump through. So, and the jump through animation is not running. Then you run the jump animation. I think it should work. Let's see. But then it says right left mouse button released. Let's see if it works. Kind of confused. What is happening is that animation is not ending completely. When the animation of wait, I think I know what to do. The animation of Ninja Girl jump throw ends, then immediately we should switch to jump animation. I believe that should be the case. I will delete that. I will add a condition after the this condition. After this condition, I will add one event right animation current animation name Ninja Girl jump throw. But I think I should do animation finished. Hmm. Yeah. Then I will start the animation of jump. But then it will do it for all the animation. Kind of confusing for me. Animation current animation is finished. Animation finished. It should ask me which animation, right? Which animation is finished. Current frame. Current animation name. No. Uh, I should do this. Ninja Girl is not on floor and the animation of Ninja Girl is finished. Then I will set animation Ninja Girl to jump animation. I think. Will that work? That won't work. But let's try that. If the Ninja Girl is not on floor, that won't work. But we will do something in that which will work. Ninja Girl is not on floor and the animation of Ninja Girl is finished. Animation finished. Ninja Girl. If those two conditions have happened, then we will set the animation to jump. idle jump, falling. That's what we should do. So what we have to do is we have to make another animation for the ninja girl, which is just idle jump. Let's make idle jump. Add animation, and I will call it idle jump. I add some pictures here. So I just need, I think, one frame for it. One frame, and that should be the falling animation frame. This one. That's it. One frame. I think. Yeah, one frame. So let's do that. And idle jump is the name of the animation. Right. Change the animation. Change the animation by name. Ninja girl. Idle jump. Idle jump. Okay. Now, if the ninja girl is not on floor, it will, and the animation has been finished. It's finished. It will set the animation to idle jump. It's working. You can't see it, but it's so while jumping, my hit point has changed. I know what's happening. Uh, I will fix that. What's happening is that when I made the new animation, I did not add my hit point to it. So when you don't add the hit point, which is uh, where was the hit point? Yeah, fire point. Ninja, like I'm creating a bullet at Ninja Girl point X fire. I have a point on the sprite which is called fire, from where bullets will originate. I don't have it in this sprite, so I will edit the point. Fire point is there, but it's not showing. Should be like fire point is there. Yeah, wait. I will go back to the idle animation. Okay, points are same for all. I am at the idle animation actually. Share same points for all animations. I think I should do that. Let me see what I have on dead animation. I do have a, I do. Let's see what I have on idle jump. I don't have a fire point on idle jump, so I have to do that. So I will do this. Yes. Now I have same points for idle. I have a fire point on idle jump, on dead. Why is there so much space? On jump throw, on throw, on jump, on idle. I have fire point on all the sprites. Fly, now it will work well. Like everything has been, I think. So I'm like, and computer is lagging, but it's you can see that it's playing the animation every time every time I am firing a bullet, it is playing the animation. So it's good. We have fixed all the issues with the animation. Now our ninja girl is being animated properly, and it's fun to play. It's fun to play if the game does not lag, because I'm recording at the while developing the game. It's lagging, so it looks like not like it looks like it's, you know, uh, freezing, but it's not. It will not freeze when you play it on your phone, or when you play it standalone, I mean without running other heavy programs. So I think that's okay. That's it for today, and I will continue this game development tomorrow as well. So thank you for watching.